inside for decor or you're putting them in the windows themselves, they burn like real candles, but they're not hot.
No.
This is beautiful technology, and these have come a long way, baby. Now, we're talking about $139.80 normal retail price.
Yes.
And we're at $77.98 for a set of 4.
That's amazing.
Now, these are battery operated, yes?
Yes, 2C batteries go right into the base.
All right, now, we have these only in 2 colors. We have the iridescent.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, it's incorrect here. So this is the this is your polished brass.
It looks like polished brass. Okay.
Yes, it doesn't look iridescent. So I believe we have the polished brass, and then we also have the navy.
The matte navy.
Yes.
Matte navy. That much is correct on my card.
Yes.
The other color is not. All right, so polished brass and matte navy, and it's a set of 4. Now, these, do they have timers on them as well?
They do. They have everything. Okay, these are brought to us by Bethlehem Lights, and as you know, David, we've been bringing window candles here since 2001, so very, very long time ago would we start. And back then, remember, we were excited if we got 10 days on our batteries. Now we're getting amazing battery life, and you can find window candles out there in the marketplace, but none that have these features and functions that we have.
These are adjustable in height as well, because I have some panes that are short,
right,
and some that are tall. In the same house. I don't know how that happened.
It does happen.
Yeah, so if you are looking, and I have Bethlehem Lights window candles. I don't have these, but I have Bethlehem Lights window candles, and really lovely because they last so long, and they are a security measure.
Yes.
They look like someone's home, because no one would leave a candle burning.
No, and this looks like a real candle burning. If you look at the flame up close, this is brand new technology brought to us by Bethlehem Lights, and it's our Pure Glow Elite. And you can see the way that this works, David, is that there are actually 14 teeny tiny LEDs in there, and then they move they flicker and make it look like a real flame. Now there's 7 on each side, so as I slowly spin this, notice that there is not a single bad angle. 360 degree beautiful flame technology. So super realistic. Really incredible battery life, tons of features and functions. David, these have a timer feature. They do photo sensor as well. And all of those buttons are right there on the bottom of the candle for you to see. Is that upside down? Probably. Spin it around. There we go.
And just angle it a little bit that way. Perfect.
There we go.
Now we see the raised printing on there, so you know how many hours to set it for, what timer mode, all that is there, and that's where the batteries go, in that little compartment that is marked with the word close.
Exactly. So there's a timer feature as well as a photo sensor, and you can choose whether you want these to come on automatically when it gets dark, using the photo sensor, or if you want to use the timer feature where they come on the same time every night.
You know what's nice about those photo sensors? Because the time changes, unless you're in Arizona, lucky. And if the time changes, then your candles change right along with it because you got it on photo sensor.
Well, so exactly, as the sun, right now the sun is setting around what, 9 p.m.?
Almost 9.
Yeah, if you're using that photo sensor, your candles aren't going to turn on then until it gets dark. But in the wintertime, when it's getting dark at 4 p.m., then you need them to turn on at 4 p.m. So if you're using the photo sensor, it senses when it gets dark outside, turns on automatically. That's my favorite
My
feature.
candles come on at dusk. When it's not completely dark,
right,
but it's mostly dark outside.
Yeah, that's
right. And so it may vary depending on where you live and how much light gets to that photo cell. So it's important to know that it may change and may be a little different depending on where you live. If you're inside a home, no one would ever leave a lit candle burning inside their house, but people who pass by and see it through the blinds, just assume somebody's home.
Absolutely.
Because no one would leave a flickering candle. I remember one time I was having the living room painted, and the painters moved everything in the middle and covered it with a drop cloth, with a plastic drop cloth.
Okay. Oh, and they were on timers.
And I went away for the weekend. My candles were on timers. I came back and went to check the mail and glanced in the living room and lost my breath. Because I thought there were real candles burning underneath that drop cloth. And I realized, no, they were flameless candles. They were window candles. They were perfectly safe. And so I stopped for a moment, collected myself, and realized that they were safe. But for people who pass by your home, they're not going to know the diff.
Yeah.
And that's why this is so important. They're also a sign of welcome. Light is a sign of security, but it's also a sign of welcome.
It is.
And when people come to your home, and maybe you'll leave these up year round. I leave my window
I do
candles
too.
all year round.
I absolutely do too.
Because I want them to come on during the summer months, I want them to come on during the fall, during the winter, during the spring. Here in Pennsylvania, we're blessed with 4 seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing better than pulling into your driveway and seeing your house lit up with window candles, even if no one is home. That is like the reason it's a sign of welcome is because it feels so welcoming.
And I don't go upstairs all that often because I have spare bedrooms upstairs. And so I don't go up there all that often.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go up and flush the toilets and run the water.
Yeah, exactly. Check
because
on
that's
everything.
important. But it's important to know, too, that the window candles make the whole house look lived in. And that's why it's so very important. Maybe you'll pick up a couple of sets of these. Remember, the if sold separately price is nearly $140.
Yeah.
But today on QVC, you're going to get a great sale price of only $77.98 for a set of 4.
Yes.
Now,
And-
maybe you need 8 because I have 4 windows downstairs, I have 4 windows upstairs, so I need 2 sets.
Exactly. There you go. And you know, I like the base on these too. If you look at the size of them, it is a nice slim base. And that's because we want it to fit on any windowsill. We also did this, you can see it, it's round, and it's just about 2 3/4 of an inch on the size, so it's gonna fit on any of your smaller...
And if you have blinds that come down, there's room for the candle and the blind on the windowsill.
Exactly. And I love the sleek design of these as well. I think these are just beautifully done. I mean, it's elegant, right? I mean, I think
so
it's
pretty.
Yes.
And there is that photocell that will help sense the light when you have a situation where maybe it's getting a little dark or earlier or later, depending on the time of year, right?
Exactly. You want to have that little button cell pointing outside so it can sense that as it gets dark and that the sun goes down, it's going to then activate that.
In the polished brass, we have how many? 150 to go around. And in the matte navy, most limited, less than 7 dozen.
Okay.
Oh my.
And that's really very pretty. Very coastal, don't you think?
I think very nice. And if color doesn't matter to you because it's going to be hiding behind
Yeah.
a shade, then that's going to be perfect. Because to the naked eye, that's going to look like black.
It is a nice, dark, deep
It's
navy.
a deep navy. It's like a midnight sky navy
I love it.
with no stars in the sky. Miss Rachel, I believe this wraps you up, does it not?
It does. Thank you so much, my
Enjoy
friend.
your weekend.
Take care.
All right, friend. All right, now, many of you are wondering, I need